very forthcoming with their opinions, whether you ask for it or not. I think people sometimes forget that artists are people too, but you have to be able to manage that within yourself and be a self-starter and get up and work really hard every single day, even when you don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I think that it's both, you know. I think the way you present yourself with your music matters because at the end of the day, you're selling a product that has your face on it. So whether you're a country singer or a classical singer or you do emo music, you know, yeah, whenever I made it to Hollywood on American Idol, I I think that was the first time that I really looked at it and I was like, okay, wow, I actually might be able to do this professionally for a living. And I went to Hollywood and did all that and I got kicked off the show. And it was a great experience. And I'm so glad that I had that experience because it taught me a lot. I came back to Oklahoma for several years and then I just was like, okay, I have to make the jump. And so I packed up everything and I moved to Nashville. I
Nice.
love Walker Hayes. So when I first came to Nashville, I worked at a restaurant called Gray's on Main and I was waiting tables there. And Walker used to come in before he really hit it and he would play at Gray's on Main all the time. So I would watch him play while I was waiting tables. And, you know, he'd always talk to us and he was super nice, super friendly, fantastic guy. Your artistry, if you're wanting to do this full time and if you're wanting to make a living doing this, you have to understand that you're running a company and you're running your own business and you have to treat your art as a business capable of doing. So, and I just, you know, if somebody produced me correctly, I could sound like a pop singer. Sure, I could go that way, but my heart isn't, I don't, my heart doesn't pull me towards pop right now. Who knows? In 10 years, I might get a wild hair and say, you know what, I'm going to put out a pop album. Who knows? But that's the thing about music is that you can do whatever you want and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It shouldn't affect that, you know? It's a lot of traveling. It's a lot of away from home. So if you are not comfortable with that, it would be really difficult. Or if you have a partner that isn't comfortable with that. I can understand how that would be difficult, but yeah, I have definitely gone through seasons of struggle where I've gotten really burnt out. And yes, I do this because I love it and it's my passion, but it is still work.
And I was like,
And
what do you mean by that?
that's funny.
Okay. Hey everyone, this is oh fudge. Hey everyone, this is Abhi from No-Budget Filmmaking Podcast, and here with me is Emily. Hi Emily.
Hi. Sure. My name is Emily Elgin. I'm an independent singer-songwriter in Nashville, Tennessee. And I sing for a living. I tour with my band and play shows, and you know, I'm an up and coming artist, so I'm just out here chasing the dream.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's your genre of singing that you do?
I do country with some rock and blues influence. I love all music, but I was raised on a lot of country and southern rock and blues, so that's kind of shaped my style.
Yeah, absolutely. What got you into it?
Gosh, you know, my mama is a huge music lover. She's not a singer, but she just loves music. So she was always playing music in the house and as I was growing up. And I had a couple of uncles that were both in bands. So it just, I think that kind of started it. And then I just have always sang. And my mom really encouraged me a lot growing up. And I was just singing to anybody who would give me the time of day. And it just kind of started from there.
Uh, okay, but when did you t start taking it seriously? Like, this is when did you decide that it would be this is the time I should seriously think about it as a career?
Yeah, whenever I made it to Hollywood on American Idol, I I think that was the first time that I really looked at it and I was like, okay, wow, I actually might be able to do this professionally for a living. And I went to Hollywood and did all that and I got kicked off the show. And it was a great experience. And I'm so glad that I had that experience because it taught me a lot. I came back to Oklahoma for several years and then I just was like, okay, I have to make the jump. And so I packed up everything and I moved to Nashville.
Okay, but so how was that experience changed you overall? I know you touched it upon a little bit, so
The American Idol or moving to Nashville?
yeah, like American Idol, yeah.
American Idol gave me a in-depth look at what the business side of things looks like because I think especially for young up and coming artists, independent artists that they just have this dream and everybody, we all want the thing, but you have to understand that music is also a business. And so that gave me a look at that side of things, which really intrigued me. And I really like the business aspect as well. So I think that has been beneficial to me in my journey as I've been, you know, chasing this.
Yep. And it must be a little bit disheartening to not win the competition, obviously, but
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie and say that I just was like, yay, because I was upset and disappointed, but looking back now, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I didn't make it any further because um I wasn't ready. Not as an artist, I wasn't developed enough. I could not have done the things that I'm doing now had I gone that direction.
hmm, interesting. I love country music, by the way, so
Hey.
that's one of the reasons I reached out to you. Uh, but so if someone else, why did you choose Nashville to pursue your country music?
Well, when I was on American Idol, I was talking to one of the producers of the show, and he said, Emily, if you want to get serious about your career and if you really want to get serious, you need to relocate out of Oklahoma and you need to either go to LA, Austin, or Nashville. And I was in LA at the time, and LA is just not my vibe. It's just that LA is just doesn't feel like home to me. And I was wanting someplace that felt like home. And so then I went to Austin and I loved Austin. Austin was great. And then I came to Nashville and I just felt like I was coming home. It just felt so, I don't know, it sounds so cliche, but it just felt like coming home and it felt right. And so I just knew I was in the right spot. I knew that's where I needed to be.
Yeah, I think the Southern hospitality
Yeah.
just helped you with it.
Oh, for
Okay.
sure.
So one more thing, if you okay, I was saving it for later, but okay, it's popular. Okay, country music does not have a good rep. It does not have. I'm not sure why, but it's popular to hate country for some reason. Have you
Wow.
noticed that?
Yeah, that's so strange to me because I feel like music is the universal language and music connects everybody. So, yeah, I don't know. That I haven't heard that.
Really?
Mhm.
Because hear it all the time. Because again, I do line dancing and all that jazz.
Love line dance.
Uh, yep. And yeah, and so I fell in love with country music. And when I told my friends, they were like, we didn't know you were a hick. And I was like, what do you mean by that?
That's funny. I don't know. I think that I mean, with any music, some people don't like pop music, some people don't like rock, some people don't like classical. It is what it is. Everybody has individual tastes, and music and art is so subjective. And that's okay. It's not going to be for everybody. Some people will hear my music and hate it and be like, who is this girl? Shut her up. But that's okay. It's just not for them, you know? And I think it's great that you love to line dance. I love to go two-stepping and stuff. I grew up doing that.
Oh, right. I love two steps too, but I'm not good at it. So plus the boots, so they can really, really hurt people. So yeah, I'm extra careful when doing two stepping. But I don't want. But in line dancing, I'm going off a little bit of tangent. But in line dancing, at least here, they're slowly moving away from country music. They're making the line dance in pop, hip hop, and everything. And the traditionalists don't like it, so I don't know.
Well, that's interesting though. That's cool that they're kind of merging country dancing with pop. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like the first dance I ever learned was Shivers by Ed Sheeran.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, so more of your so when you started singing, it was always country, or was it always the mix that you're talking about right now?
It was always the mix of country, southern rock, some blues. You know, my mama, she had a record player that she would just blare. She would turn that thing up so high, and she would play anything from Tom T. Hall, who is a phenomenal, or was a phenomenal songwriter and artist, country. And she'd play anything from Tom T. Hall to Stevie Ray Vaughan, Joplin, Allman Brothers, Garth Brooks, Martina McBride, you know, just all of that. So I feel like, you know, we were just inundated with music growing up, and I loved it. It's one of my favorite memories.
For those who don't know, what's country, Southern rock and blues?
What is Southern rock and blues?
Yeah.
Southern rock is it's kind of hard to explain. Nobody has ever asked me that, actually. Southern rock is bands like Leonard Skinner versus heavy metal, or, you know, bigger rock bands would be like Ozzy Osbourne,
Hmm.
Kiss, stuff like that. Does
Hmm.
that, you know, are you familiar with the band Leonard Skinner?
Yeah. But I only heard the two songs, like the Freebird and one. What's the other one? What's the other famous one?
Simple Man?
Yeah.
Sweet Home Alabama?
Yes, I've heard that too. So like I heard a lot, a bunch of them, but
Southern rock is like, well, rock with a little bit of country, I think. Some blues in it. It's a slightly different feel.
I guess it's I don't know much of technical term, but correct me if I'm wrong. It's more like guitar heavy and lyrical, but it doesn't go overboard. Does that make
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
okay. What about blues?
Blues is just soul, you know, and it's blues. It's Delta music, you know, and it's soul, and it's derivative from um, you know, Louisiana and, you know, New Orleans that came up, and the blues kind of started from there. I could be totally wrong about this. I'm not a music major. I didn't go to school for music, so my music history is sparse. But as far as sound goes, it's more of a soul. It's a soulful genre.
Much akin to jazz?
It has jazz roots, but I would say R&B
Hmm.
is it came from that foundation of the blues. A lot, I mean, a ton of music did. A ton of music was born of the blues.
Okay. If you have to think about it, how much that your style has changed throughout the years?
Um, you know, I don't know that my style has changed as much as I have gotten better at directing my music, and I've gotten better at saying this is the sound that I'm trying to accomplish, and that this is the direction that I want to go. When I first started, I was pretty unsure of how to do that and how to um, just encompass what I was trying to trying to get done. And now I'm a lot better at saying, this is the vision, this is the sound, this is how it's going to be produced. And then I get the product that I want.
Oh, okay. And if we're talking about the history, because ever since I guess it was early 2000, every genre is mixing into each other. And as you said, you have the genre of all these Southern rock, country, and blues mixed in. Uh, does it does it is it affiliated or it is influenced by something currently, or is it always the case?
With my music and the way that I sing, with
Um, and
those influences,
more of a perception.
I think it's always been that way. I country music has always been one of my loves, and I definitely am a country artist, but the foundation of the Southern rock and blues has just always been there, and I can't take that away any more than I could, take away my arm. It's just part of who I am.
Okay, who was your favorite country artist?
I have so many. I've never been able to pick just one. I love Tom T. Hall and Hank Williams Jr. and Sr. And I love all of the women of the 90s, Martina McBride, Faith Hill, Trisha Yearwood, and then Garth Brooks. He's a phenomenal entertainer. Clint Black, and I mean the list goes on. There's so many good ones I can't even begin to say who's my favorite because I love all of their music for different
Yeah,
reasons.
absolutely. What about the new ones?
I'm a huge Chris Stapleton fan.
Oh.
Huge. But Chris has been around in Nashville for a really long time. He has a song called Whiskey and You that I heard for the first time when I like I don't know how old I was. I mean, it was probably 15 years ago. And Tim McGraw cut it on his record. So I thought it was a Tim McGraw song. And then Chris released his Traveler album, and I saw that song on there. And then I did a little bit of research and realized that he's the one who actually wrote it. And he's just, I really admire him and what he's doing. I think he's incredible. Um, I love the Red Clay Strays. They're just crushing it right now. They're phenomenal. I mean, they're just really amazing. I met them in Nashville before they really hit it big and got to hang out with them a little bit. They were awesome. Um, I really like May Estes. She's a up and coming artist, country artist. She's phenomenal. Um, there's just I constantly feel like I'm a kid in a candy store because there's just so much here in Nashville. Everybody is so good and their songs are amazing and their voices are incredible. They can all play and perform. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it is. What about like uh, Walker Hayes and Luke
I
Combs?
love Walker Hayes. So when I first came to Nashville, I worked at a restaurant called Gray's on Main, and I was waiting tables there. And Walker used to come in before he really hit it, and he would play at Gray's on Main all the time. So I would watch him play while I was waiting tables, and he'd always talk to us, and he was super nice, super friendly, fantastic guy.
Hmm. That's really interesting that you made a lot of people who hit it big uh, before they hit it big. So, uh,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
it's everywhere here. It's awesome. To be honest, I'm just a country girl. I really am. I don't like living in town. I don't like living in cities. I love visiting. I love going and doing and seeing all the things, but I just love coming home to my little country house and sitting on my back patio in the morning with my coffee and I don't have any neighbors and I'm such a country bumpkin. And LA was huge. It was such a culture shock for me. But I had a really great time, met some really cool people, and got to do all the touristy stuff. But Yeah,
Mm.
I'm just I'm just a country bumpkin. Like if anybody, I mean, just look at my socials. That's just what I do.
Yeah, it's much of a peace and quiet, and no one is yelling at you from
Yeah.
outside. No
Yeah.
one is spitting at you. No homeless is spitting at you and everything.
Terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible, but I think they cleaned it up very much because of the Olympics and everything. They cleaned up almost
Good.
everything.
Good.
So there's that. And when you say you learn more about the business side,
Mhm.
uh, could you please go on a little bit detail on that? Because everyone says that talent and everything, but the business side is more complicated.
It's very complicated, but in my opinion, it's the most important thing for any artist to learn because you have to, your artistry, if you're wanting to do this full time and if you're wanting to make a living doing this, you have to understand that you're running a company and you're running your own business and you have to treat your art as a business. So, in order to do that, you really need to understand how the music business works, how it operates, and how to get from point A to point B without sinking your ship. You don't want to get stuck in a bad contract. You need to understand how to read contracts, how to negotiate agreements, and just understand royalties and the way that you get paid, all of the different platforms. It's very in depth and there's a lot. And I think that because it's so overwhelming, a lot of artists shy away from it. But you just take it one day at a time and learn something new every day. And before you know it, you'll know a ton and be able to navigate it well. No, no, no. The music business, okay, let me back up. You can go to school for music. That was not something that I did. I did not even know that you could go to school for music. I didn't go to college. So I graduated high school and went straight into working. And so going to school for music never even crossed my mind. And so the music business is different from a lot of different avenues that you can go because a lot of times if you can go to school, you go to high school, you go to college, you take all these classes to prepare you for the job that you're going to get. And then after you graduate, you know that you have to do A, B, and C, and then you get hired for your job, and that's how that kind of unfolds. The music business is not like that. It's not do one, two, three to get four or ABC and you'll get to D. It doesn't work like that. It's a lot of networking, it's a lot of meeting people, it's a lot of building your business and problem solving. I think one of the biggest things is being able to be told no every single day and just be okay with it. And instead of it just derailing you, you just find another door to walk through.
Yeah, handling rejection is, I guess, yeah, it's part of the art, no matter what you do.
It is. It
Yeah,
definitely
but
is.
I'm sorry, I have to dig in a little bit deeper, right? When you say that you have to make your brand and everything, so it involves a lot of marketing and you have to check the royalty, so that involves a lot of legal stuff. So do you personally, I'm not sure about everyone else, do you hire people to help you out with it, or do you do it on your own?
It just depends. It really just depends on what I'm doing, um, and to what degree I'm doing things. When you put music online, there are companies that help you collect your money. You need to be able to look into those companies to make sure they're doing what they say they're doing. But yeah, it is so fluid and there's so many moving parts. Sometimes I hire people to help me and sometimes I do it myself. It just really depends on what's going on.
Okay, makes sense. So for a young individual who just started in a professional setting, not just a country music, but any music, what your advice would be?
My advice for somebody that is just starting out would be to build your own brand to the point where you need a team. What I mean by that is everyone thinks that, oh my gosh, I need a manager. I need a manager. I need a booking agent right out of the gate. But unless you have something to manage, and unless you have your show together, your songs, you have a following, you can draw a crowd, you can sell tickets. That is not, you have to be able to get that to facilitate bringing on a manager or a booking agent because nobody wants to work for free. You know, you have to pay these people and they should be paid for their work. Um, so I think a lot of young artists get into bad management deals and bad deals with agencies that, you know, maybe aren't the best fit for them because they're so excited and they just want to sign the deal and they want the deal, but you can do so much for yourself first before getting to that point.
Hmm. But it's in a sense like when you say build your brand, are you talking about like build your music in a certain way or build your social media, or is it overall?
It's everything. It's overall. It's your social media, it's your social media, it's your look, it's your website, it's your music, it's your cover art. It's it's everything. It's all encompassing. It all needs to be cohesive.
And it's expensive though.
It is expensive. It
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
And
I'm not here and be like, oh no, no, it is. And it's hard, you know. I mean, I worked several jobs and had side hustles and for years and years and years before I was able to go full time. So you just have to find a way, you know. Where there is a will, there is a way. And if you're willing to work hard enough, you can do it.
to touch briefly on the money side of things, it's that in first few years you don't make any, right?
Just depends. Like that's the thing. It just depends. Sometimes I guess it depends on what your goal is. And of there's so many different paths you can go on it. Do you want to be in a cover band? Do you want to travel the country going from bars and doing events and all of those things? Are you doing a cover band? Are you doing your own music? Are you doing Americana, singer songwriter stuff? Like what do you want to do? And that has a big impact on the money.
Hmm. But again, like if I'm starting, for example, if I'm starting right away, I don't think I'll get paid gigs right away.
It all depends on where you're at as well. You
Hmm.
know, if you are just if you've got some original music but you know a lot of covers, you can start going to bars and booking shows and getting paid immediately if you can play long enough.
Hmm. Interesting. Because in LA mostly because there's so much competition, even if you're really, really good, you still don't get paid for a lot of gigs in the beginning. It's
Right.
in the beginning
You have
at
to
least.
you have to go out of town. You won't stay in LA. You have to, you know, if you live in LA, you got to drive a couple hours outside of town to book gigs someplace that will pay you a little bit to get your chops up.
Yep.
That's what I did.
Oh, that's what you did?
Oh
How
yeah.
long did you stay in LA, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh no, I didn't do that in LA. I did that in Nashville, but I was only in LA for like less than a week.
Oh,
Yeah, I wasn't there long, just there for the show.
oh,
For
okay.
yeah,
Oh, interesting. And you've been in Nashville for how long?
10 years.
Ooh, oh,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
long time.
it is.
If you don't mind, what was the season of American Idol you were on?
Oh gosh. It was two season 10, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
with Jennifer Lopez, Randy Jackson, and Steven Tyler.
Oh, you get to talk to all of them or met
Oh yeah.
them?
Yeah. It
Oh,
was so
how?
so
Uh,
fun.
oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure how was the experience with Jennifer Lopez?
Fine. I didn't really talk to her very much.
Okay.
Yeah. I I mean, I didn't get one-on-one time with any of them.
Hmm.
My interactions with all of them were super brief, but my favorite was Steven Tyler. He was just awesome.
Oh, I think he's a sweetheart, don't you think?
Yes, he was so nice and he was just lovely, lovely to everybody.
Yeah. That's one theme I see like a lot of talented people. They're really, really nice, most of the time at least.
Yeah, they
Okay.
are.
Have you thought about like just for fun or just to experiment, divert your music in some other genres like pop or hard rock?
No, I mean, I'd be more inclined to go to hard rock versus pop. I love pop, but I'm just not a pop singer. I know where my lane is, and I know what my voice is capable of doing. And I just, if somebody produced me correctly, I could sound like a pop singer. Sure, I could go that way, but my heart isn't, I don't, my heart doesn't pull me towards pop right now. Who knows? In 10 years, I might get a wild hair and say, you know what, I'm going to put out a pop album. Who knows? But that's the thing about music is that you can do whatever you want and it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, but it's just my observation or something. But rock was like mainstream for the longest time. But after um, early in the late 2010s and in early even I say early 2010s, it just become really less mainstream, don't you think?
I really don't know, because I don't listen to a lot of rock in my day to day. To be totally honest, I'm so focused on country music and what I'm doing with my projects and stuff. I the stuff I listen to a happy songs playlist in the morning, and that's just kind of all genres. Anything that's happy, I listen to that. And when I work out, I'll listen to just random stuff. But yeah, I don't know much about the history of it.
Oh, interesting. What's your favorite hard rock or rock bands?
You know, I like AC/DC. I
Awesome.
like, I mean, you have to love Ozzy. You can't not, okay? You just can't not. Um, yeah, Def Leppard. I used to listen to oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget I'm forgetting the name of him right now. I'm forgetting his name. He's bald.
Okay.
He sings he did a cover of was it Sounds of Silence?
Oh, Disturbed?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
So
okay,
good.
yeah.
Love them.
Mm.
Um yeah.
Oh, it's one of the best covers. And
Oh.
obviously everyone loves Ozzy Osbourne. May he rest in peace.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, he's something else. He was
Yeah,
something else.
was. He
Do
really
you,
he, you know, his music kind of changed the game for sure.
yeah. And yeah, I loved his messaging. I love his lyrics. I love
Mhm.
War Pigs, by the way. There's always a lot of other good songs, but I don't know. It's War Pigs is always my favorite.
Good. Yeah, it's nice. Like I said, I really, you know, music, regardless of genre, it's just the universal language and it can connect everybody. I love it.
Okay. Okay. As an artist, I've heard from a lot of my friends and some people that I have interviewed is that it does affect a lot of your personal life. Have you experienced that?
No, I don't let it. Here's the thing. If you know who you are, you have a good handle on what kind of person you are, who you want to be, how you want to treat people, it shouldn't affect that. it's a lot of traveling. It's a lot of away from home. So if you are not comfortable with that, it would be really difficult. Or if you have a partner that isn't comfortable with that, I can understand how that would be difficult. But I don't have that. I have a super supportive boyfriend who comes with me when he can, and otherwise I'm out with my band and I'm running and doing, and everybody's just so supportive and we're all in it together. And so I don't have that. My family is super supportive. Yeah, my friends are super supportive. I think if you surround yourself with the right people, it's not gonna crumble down.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess your family still lives in Oklahoma?
They're all over the place.
Oh, okay.
Texas, Denver, Oklahoma, everybody's spread out.
Oh, yeah. I love Denver. Uh, one more. So as you said, you shouldn't let, but but I think music and arts take a good chunk of your time.
Oh yeah, that's all I do.
Oh yeah. So
That's
but
all. That's all I do.
yeah, but you love doing that, so it doesn't seem like work, but it's still you would do you struggle with work-life balance? Because even though it's work, it's not work per se.
Yeah, yeah, I have definitely gone through seasons of struggle where I've gotten really burnt out. And yes, I do this because I love it and it's my passion, but it is still work. And it it was really hard to learn how to navigate that balance because I went through a season of not wanting to sing anymore because it didn't bring me joy because I was working so hard and I was so burnt out that it just felt like more work on top of that. So I had to really kind of take a step back and reassess and figure out, okay, how do I balance this, because this is what I want to do and I love it so much, and how do I make this work? And so I think every artist has to go through that to figure out how to find that balance, and so that you're not constantly on a teeter totter.
But how did you find it? Did you just take a step back, or what did you do?
Hmm. I A few things. I quit working when I'm done working for the day, I'm done working. Period. Unless it is something that is, some show opening for an A-list artist and I know this phone call's coming in, something like that. But when I'm done for the day, I'm done for the day. And I just have to cut it off. Say that again. I didn't catch what you said.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay, so this is the mic. So I was saying that we were talking about what's your method to prevent yourself from burning out and find a good work-life balance. So the first thing you mentioned was you stopped working uh, in your head and everywhere. You just stopped working right away, in a sense, take a break, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to shut it off because at the end of the day, when you're an artist, you're an independent artist, you're constantly thinking about it. It consumes your entire life. But I think one of the things that also helped me a ton was I just quit taking myself so seriously. I was putting so much pressure on myself to be the next big thing, and just, I felt like if I didn't hit these milestones at certain specific times, that I was letting down my friends or my family or my fans if I didn't, get to a certain place. And I just finally hit a point that I said, you know what, that doesn't matter. And the people that love me and support me and love my music, they're going to love whatever I'm doing. And they know that at the end of the day, I'm doing my best. And that is what the most important thing is.
So you brought up a really good point, and we did briefly touched upon it before. A lot of people, they get really, really disheartened and unmotivated when they don't make it big. So, you, what would be your advice to them? Because again, even if I'm best of the best, the moment I start singing, it's not going to be like that, that I'm going to make it big.
Right. You're completely right. I think there's a couple things there. Number one, if you rely on motivation to get you through, you won't get through. Motivation is so fleeting. It is so fleeting. And it really comes down to self-discipline. You have to be able to have the self-discipline to continue to go forward because you're going to get told no all the time. People will flat tell you to your face that they do not like you, they don't like your music, they don't like the way you sound, the way you look, the way you dress, whatever it is. People can be very forthcoming with their opinions, whether you ask for it or not. I think people sometimes forget that artists are people too, but you have to be able to manage that within yourself and be a self-starter and get up and work really hard every single day, even when you don't feel like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, that brings to my next question is that apart from your music, how much do you think or you felt that the way you present yourself, the way you look, as you said, or your personality sold your brand more?
Rephrase that. What are you asking?
How much did you felt that it was apart from your music, it was more your personality and the way you present yourself was?
I think that it's both, you know. I think the way you present yourself with your music matters because at the end of the day, you're selling a product that has your face on it. So whether you're a country singer or a classical singer or you do emo music, you know, your brand and the way that you present yourself matters. So if you're, you know, my style is something that is part of my brand, which is why I lean into it so hard. If I was in a band like Kiss, they have their faces painted and that's their whole brand. That's why they lean into it so hard. So to answer your question, it's very important. I think talent and hard work goes a long way.
Okay. Okay. Because yeah, we see a lot of it in entertainment industry. You have to look good as well. So,
I think that's subjective. I think there are artists of all kinds. There are artists all over across the board with different body types, different cultures, different nationalities. And I think that somebody finding somebody else attractive is also subjective to each individual person's um, tastes. And I think that at the end of the day, if you're putting out good music and you know, if somebody hears me on the radio or hears me on their playlist, they don't see what I look like. They're listening to my music. So, and if they like the music, they're in the club. They're in the Emily Elgin club, you know, and that goes with anybody. Um, I think it's really important to remember that looks are temporary and everybody gets old and wrinkly. And the thing that is the most important to me is what kind of music am I putting out and what kind of you know depth am I leaving? What kind of stamp am I putting on the world? I want to leave it better than how I found it. I mean, my music is influenced by Southern rock and blues. So if I can do it, why can they not do it? You know, I think there's room for everybody and music changes. Look at where music was 100 years ago compared to today and the way that it's evolved. It's constantly shifting. Look at music from the 1700s versus what we have today. You know, it constantly evolves and it constantly shifts. And I it's just the way it is, and I think it's awesome. There's room for everybody. It's creativity, and it's everybody's just dumping all their creative vibes in, and I, I don't have an issue with it.
Okay. No, because I'll meet a lot of when I do country dancing, it's a lot of bit older crowd, and most of them don't like the current country, and they don't like line dancing to pop songs. I don't know.
And they're entitled to that. They don't have
Yeah.
to, you know? And like I said earlier, art is subjective. It really is. And you find what you like. And just because I don't take it personally if somebody doesn't like my music, that has nothing to do with me. It's just their preferences and their tastes. There's a lot of music that is not my favorite music, and that, but that doesn't mean that I don't like the artist as a person. You know, it's not my style.
Yeah, absolutely. Any future projects that you want to mention here?
Yes, I have a lot going right now that I'm very excited about. I'm going to be releasing quite a bit of new music, so keep an eye out for that. It'll be after the first of the year. I am releasing a cover of Chris Stapleton's song Whiskey and You, so that'll be out here in a few weeks.
So, and all the updates we can find it on your Instagram.
All I've got my website, which is emilyelginmusic.com. All of everything is on the website. You can find everything through there. I have a YouTube channel that has covers, which I'll be releasing like 10 more videos with over the next few months. I have Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Okay, I will share all the links in the description of the video, and they can reach you out. And one more humble question is that if someone new, can they reach out to you via Instagram if they need some help? They're in Nashville or wherever, who wants to break into
Sure.
country music?
Yeah, you know, I can't promise anything that I can help anybody's career. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
I don't have that kind of power. But yeah, you know, I think it's important to continue to connect with people, and people reach out to me all the time and, you know, say like, "Hey, do you have a suggestion on where I should go?" or
yeah.
anything like that. I get that a lot, and I have no problem, you know, saying, "Yes, go here or go there," or whatever if I see the
Yeah.
message.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's important to continue to just be supportive and positive in other people's lives, especially other artists that are trying to make it. And I can't be that for everybody, but I'm you know I just I try to always treat people the way that I would want to be treated. And even if somebody reaches out to me and I'm not able to help them, I say, hey, thank you so much for reaching out. I don't have the bandwidth for this right now, but I wish you all the luck in the world. And I mean that, you know, and sometimes I'm not able to facilitate something for somebody, but I can at least respond.
Absolutely. And before I let you go, if anyone who's listening to right now, a young individual who wants to break into music, not exactly country, and they have some same background as you, what's your final words to them or advice?
I think I would say work really hard and don't let the no's derail you. Don't let hearing no derail you. Just keep working hard, surround yourself with good people, and surround yourself with people that are better than you. Don't be the best one everywhere you go. Surround yourself with people that are better than you because you learn from them, and just learn as much as you can.
Hmm. That's a really good final message. Okay, I think I give you like 5 minutes of bandwidth. Thank you very much. It
Yeah.
was it was an amazing conversation, by the way. I loved every second of it. I'm
Thank
sorry we
you for
couldn't
having
keep
me.
it. Yeah, I'm sorry we couldn't keep it longer.
That's
And I
okay.
hope to talk to you in the future.
Yeah. Thank
And
you so much for reaching out.
yeah,
Please, 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 I'm begging you. Please. I'm desperate. I don't know what to do. Please subscribe. Subscribe for more content. Like, comment, and subscribe.